Hi everyone, welcome to the Bliss Swish. Today I'm going to talk about how to achieve goals in the most simple and practical way. So these are my favorite ways of achieving my goals and they have worked for me, so I would like to share with you all. Let's get started. So step 1 requires us to sit down and do a little deep thinking. So in this step, just take time. Think what your goals, what you really want from life, what your goals are in every area, be it your personal area, your career, your financial life, anything, just think, sit down and write down. Basically, just get clear upon what you want. Just that clarity helps you achieve those goals. Like if you don't know where you're heading towards, you are not going to achieve that goal. Like if you don't have that clarity of what you really want, it's very hard to get what you want. So like how Robin Sharma says is clarity precedes mastery is the most amazing way. Like you just need to remind yourself that if I know what I want, it is much easier to achieve it. So yes, sit down, think, take time, ask yourself few questions about every area in your life, like what is it that you really want, and when you sit down and write it down, that's when you get clarity, and that's what you know, okay, this is it and this is what I really want. So first step is, of course, know your goals, get clear upon what you want. Having that clarity is the way of achieving. That's the most basic and the first step. Without this, it's very hard to really get close to what you want. So my second step is sit down and write your goals. It's important that you take a pen and paper. I prefer that you write it in notebooks so it stays with you, so you can see it every time when you turn your pages. So it's important, sit down, write those goals. At that moment you might come up with many goals, like about 10 goals. So it's important that you sit down and then categorize each of them. You categorize your personal goals into a different category, your professional goals, your career goals, and your family goals. You can make these categories according to you, but it's important that you categorize each of these goals so that you exactly know in each different area what is it that you really want. So it makes it more simpler, and it also helps you to actually see all the goals clearly in front of your eyes. Like you can really like read it and see, okay, this is what I want under each category. So it's the most basic step again, but it's important to write it down. It's very, very important to do that. So if you have many goals, it's important that you shorten down that list. If you have 10 goals under each of these categories, it's important that you find the one that needs the most priority, select the ones and put them on the top, and just focus on those very few. So under each category, if you make about 2 or 3 which requires high priority or most attention, then select those and keep them on top. So when you're working towards your goal, you have those 3 top priority in front of you, so it doesn't get too overwhelming when you see so many of your goals right in front of you. So it's important to shorten that list after you write down your number of goals. So my third step is make a vision board. So I have just currently made a vision board which is made digitally, and it's really, really easy to do it. There are tons and tons of video on YouTube that you will get which will help you to really create that vision board the way you like it. Or some of them might find the idea of vision board like it's too kiddish or that's so silly, it doesn't work. So previously I had made a vision board and which was taking a lot of time to achieve, but we have to be patient and we have to understand that the vision board will work and it will have an effect on a mindset, because the entire idea of having a vision board is to see it every day. Because when we see those pictures, those quotes on the picture that we put, it's going to affect the way we think, and it's when you wake up every morning, see that vision board, it's going to affect our mindset. So that's how in every day we're going to work towards achieving those goals. So vision board is really, really important. If you think it's going to take time or it is taking time, even if you put up a vision board, just don't be disheartened. It will work. For some goals it might happen quickly, for some goal it might take years to achieve it, but the entire idea here is to be patient. The vision board is going to work, so just don't pull it down. I had done the mistake of pulling down my vision board. I thought it was not working, but I realized that some of the goals were taking time, but it was happening. So don't give up on the idea of vision board. Is one of the fantastic ways. The basic thing is whether you make it into a traditional vision board, whether you cut and paste from your magazines, newspapers and make a vision board, or you use the digital way of making it, whichever way works for you, that is fine. But understand that the entire idea of vision board is to put it in front of you, see it every day, when you wake up, or keep it in your bedroom, keep it in your hall, or whichever it is, your living room. So my fourth tip is to do the work. Nothing is going to work. You cannot expect things to happen automatically just by sitting down, thinking positive, or just putting up pictures. I'm not saying that vision board, it doesn't work. It definitely affects the way you think, and that helps you to do the work. But it's important to know that it's not enough to sit down, have clarity about the goals, and do nothing about it. It's important that once you know the entire idea of putting pictures on a vision board, or the entire idea of writing down, point-wise what you really want, what your goals are, and working is that we just focus and work towards what we want. Like, if you don't do the daily work that it takes, it is pointless, writing down, having a clear vision. So yes, it is really, really important to do the work. So there's one of my favorite authors, Brian Tracy, who says one barrel at a time. So it's in one of his books called Eat That Frog. I think it's in that book, where he actually what to say is that even if you take those small daily action towards your goal, you are ultimately going to achieve it. So even though in that moment you'll just feel it's too small and it will not have a big impact on what I really want, the goal can be huge and big. So you don't have to look at the entire big picture. Just do those small steps every day that will help you to connect and reach that place you really want to be. So even though if it's overwhelming, it is okay. Do those little steps that it requires the action from your side. Just do it daily, and you're sure to get where you want. So my fifth point is to track yourself. So tracking is a very powerful way of actually seeing your progress in the particular goal that you want to achieve. So whatever your goal is, you can either write it down and then write your daily progress towards that goal. I prefer using an app, which is the most simplest way of tracking my progress. So earlier my goal was to for weight loss, I had used an app called Noom, which really helped me to track my eating habits, and it really helped me to lose my weight. So whatever it is your goal is, whether it's financial goal, you can like currently I'm using a Walnut app, which helps me achieve my financial goals. So whatever it is, I feel either you write it down or you can use an app. Preferably, I would suggest that you use an app, which is the most simplest way and easy way of noting things down every day. So in the description, I'm going to list a few apps that will really help you to track down your habits, because tracking is really crucial. It's very important to see how far you've come and what progress it is. So I remember one thing about tracking is that when I used to see my graph, it used to show the progress that I had made. The graph was never a straight line. It was never like, I started from zero and I straight went up, up, up. It doesn't happen like that. The graph is very, it's always up, then there's down, then there's up, and then again it's down. But somehow when you actually see it in a way, it's always moving towards the upper direction. So in some places, if you find the graph is showing you that you're dipping down and there is no progress, or it's just showing that that you're not achieving much, because you're just seeing that smaller area, that smaller section. But if you just zoom out, and not every app has that, but what I basically want to say is that it's never going to be a straight line reaching upward. It's going to be up and down. So some places you're going to be stagnant, some places there'll be no growth, but overall, when you see that progress, you're always moving ahead. So don't be depressed, even if there are some phases where you're not progressing, it's going too slow, or you're dipping towards downward. Just understand that those are a few little areas or patches in your progress towards your goal, but surely you're going upward. You are going to reach that goal. So don't get disheartened. The entire idea of tracking yourself is to see how well you've been through so many months and years, the progress that you have. So it's going to keep you on track, and it's going to really help you achieve your goals. So my point number 6 is to announce to the world that you have a goal, and this is the date by which you want to achieve that goal. So what really happens is when you tell your friends or your family members that this is my goal, and by so and so date I'm going to achieve this, it really makes you feel motivated. It makes you feel that it just holds you accountable. It just makes you feel that I must do this because I have told this to everyone, and it feels like a compulsion, but in a nicer way, in a better way, where you feel motivated to go and achieve your goal. So what I feel is you can use your social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, or you can use your WhatsApp group to announce to your friends. For me, I want to write a book, so I feel when I announce it to my family, my friends, that this by so and so date I'm going to complete this book, and by this date it's going to be published, it just makes me feel that I need to keep up to it, and I just don't want to feel like oh, I said this and I didn't do it. So it somehow makes you feel accountable. So it's important that you share with somebody. It really helps you to get closer towards your goal. You feel more motivated to achieve it. So I feel one of the ways is to just announce it. Just tell everybody, hey, I'm going to get this. So my 7th and the last tip is that it's just not to get fascinated by seeing the end result. It's basically to enjoy the process. So when you see a goal that someone else has achieved, for example, you're scrolling through Instagram and you're seeing people who have achieved certain goal, and you feel like achieving them too, and you try to achieve, like you start the process towards achieving it, but when you're doing those steps, those activities towards reaching your goal, but you're not really enjoying the process, then it is all a waste. Like there's no point in reaching towards a goal where you don't enjoy the process of doing a certain thing. For example, I just loved watching these YouTube videos, and I really felt that I too should go and do this. Like that's why I'm sitting in front of the camera and recording this entire thing, because I really like the process of doing this thing. Whether it's small details like setting up the camera, setting up the entire frame, or just every little detail like editing it, and so it's the process that really counts. So if you're just focusing too much on the end result, your goal, and you're not enjoying the process of doing every small detailed work of it, there's no point in reaching towards that goal. Like sometimes we see an amazing six-pack figure on a female who has an amazing body, but there is a process, there is a step-by-step action that she has done every day to reach towards that goal. Like if you don't really want to get up every day, work out for 1 hour, or eat those really healthy strict diet, there's no point. Like you're not going to get that kind of a body if you don't do the work that it requires. So if you don't enjoy the process of doing it, there is no point in it reaching. You will not enjoy reaching towards that goal. So I remember once I had I used to really like these magazine cover pages, so I really wanted to be a stylist. So what I used to do is I think that I'll just apply for though I did that, I worked for a stylist, but when I really saw the entire process of styling a model, and I just didn't enjoy that every aspect, that every tiny little bit that it requires to be a stylist. So there's no point like running towards a goal and you don't enjoy what you are doing. It is pointless. So just acknowledge that, just know that it's fine. Like it's great, whoever has achieved that, it's amazing, but do not put yourself down. Don't say that okay, someone has done it and I'm not capable of doing it. No, it's not that you're not capable of doing it, you just don't enjoy the process. So just know that it is great, but I do not want it. Just be clear about that. So don't run behind something that you're not going to enjoy at the end of it. So yes, it's just not that glorified end. It's important that you enjoy the every second of reaching towards your goal. So that's the most important way of getting closest to your goals is enjoy the process of it. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you've got some valuable, tips again from this video. I'm going to come up with more such personal growth, personal development videos where, the entire idea is to make ourselves better each day. So if there are any suggestions, you can leave them in the comment box below. For now, just like this video if you really liked it, and share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and see you soon. Bye.